The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control and the Oklahoma Department of Health. It has been discovered that the water supply of Oklahoma City has been contaminated with a strain of the norovirus. No cases have been reported yet. However, the symptoms of this virus are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, malaise, and muscle cramps. It could also cause dehydration and malnutrition. If you are experiencing one or more of these symptoms, you should strongly consider seeking medical attention immediately. Only drink bottled water or other beverages at this time. Please refrain from taking baths and showers, washing clothes, flushing toilets, and drinking tap water until further notice, as you risk being infected. Tune into local media outlets for more information on this dangerous situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control and the Oklahoma Department of Health. Many hospitals in the Oklahoma City area are receiving high numbers of patients coming in infected with the norovirus. These patients were believed to have drank the contaminated water that was found in the city's water supply. Norovirus is an extremely contagious stomach infection that spreads very quickly. Symptoms of this virus include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, malaise, and muscle cramps. Do not approach the infected, as this virus can also spread via physical contact with an infected individual. All residents of Oklahoma City are advised to remain indoors to prevent catching the virus. The Centers for Disease Control advises civilians to practice basic hygiene techniques, like washing your hands and covering your cough or sneeze. Remember, do not use the contaminated water or you will face the risk of being infected. Only drink bottled water and other beverages during this time. If you or a loved one is experiencing one or more of these symptoms, take them to the hospital immediately. If your local hospital is at full capacity, take them to their nearest doctor's office for treatment. Stay tuned to this station for more information on this dangerous situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. The norovirus situation has worsened. Water supplies are getting contaminated and people are getting infected with the virus in multiple cities in the state outside of Oklahoma City. These cities include Tulsa, Norman, Broken Arrow, Lawton, Edmond, Moore, Midwest City, Enid, Stillwater, and Muskogee. Symptoms of this virus include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, fever, malaise, and muscle cramps. It can also cause malnutrition and dehydration. These cities are being placed under a quarantine and martial law until further notice. No one will be allowed to enter or exit these areas without permission from local authorities. Those who do this will be arrested and questioned. Do not drink and use the contaminated water, use basic hygiene techniques and stay away from the infected. Civil danger for the state of Oklahoma. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. The norovirus has infected the entire state of Oklahoma. Several hospitals in the state are overwhelmed with victims and the virus is spreading extremely quickly. Symptoms of the norovirus include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal cramps, fever, muscle aches, and malaise. It can eventually result in dehydration and malnutrition. A statewide quarantine and martial law has been put into effect for the entire state. No one is allowed to exit or enter the state. Those that are caught will be arrested and questioned. Do not take infected patients to the hospital, as many hospitals in the state are at full capacity. Do not use the contaminated water, as the virus has been seen in many water supplies across the state. Stay tuned for more information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. The norovirus has spread into multiple major cities in the central United States. These cities include Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Kansas City, Wichita, Omaha, Lincoln, Rapid City, Topeka, Bismarck, Sioux Falls, and Fargo. This virus is extremely contagious and is expected to spread into the entire central United States within the next few hours. This virus originated from Oklahoma, from a contaminated water supply, then it spread rapidly into the central United States. All residents in these cities are advised to remain indoors. Stay away from the infected, as the virus spreads via physical contact. These cities are being placed under a quarantine until further notice. Do not take the infected to the hospital, as many hospitals in these cities are at full capacity at this time. Civil danger warning. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Centers for Disease Control. The norovirus outbreak originating from Oklahoma has spread into multiple states. These states include North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri. Symptoms of this virus include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, malaise, muscle cramps, malnutrition, and dehydration. All residents of these states are strongly advised to remain indoors and away from the infected. These states are being put into quarantine and martial law until further notice. All residents that are caught exiting or entering these states will be arrested and questioned. A cure of this virus will be developed and distributed across these states within the next few weeks. Stay tuned for more information on this dangerous situation. We interrupt our regular programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WSB-TV. We will continue to serve the Atlanta area. If you are not in this local area, tune now to a station providing news and information to your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Atlanta area. Do not use the telephone. The telephone line shall be kept open for emergency use only. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The norovirus epidemic originating from water supplies from the state of Oklahoma has spread into the entire United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. Norovirus is an extremely contagious gastrointestinal infection that causes the victim to experience nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, fever, headache, and muscle cramps. The victim may also experience malnutrition and dehydration. The norovirus is spread via physical contact. As a precaution, all residents of the United States are advised to remain indoors and not to go outside for any reason. A national state of martial law and quarantine are in effect for the entire country. A cure for this virus is expected to be developed and distributed within the next few weeks. No deaths have been reported yet, but approximately 50 million people are infected in the United States alone. If you or a loved one experiences one or more of these symptoms, take the patient to their local doctor, as almost all hospitals are at full capacity and will not allow any more patients inside. Wash your hands, cover your cough or sneeze, and stay away from infected individuals. The virus spreads by physical contact with an individual that is infected. Stay tuned to this station for more information on this dangerous situation. This is an emergency action termination. The cure for the norovirus has been delivered across the country, and all 50 million people that were infected are no longer infected. The martial law and quarantine are lifted. The water supply in the state of Oklahoma is no longer contaminated, and tap water is now safe to use and drink. All residents that stayed healthy during this outbreak may now exit their homes and continue their daily living. We will now switch to regular programming. Your government thanks you for your cooperation during this emergency.